everyday weekend lifestyle, giving you tangible tips to help you get more free time.
And be a freedom taker.
How many people are entrepreneurs in the room or not? Very good. Do you know what I mean by the zone?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, it depends. What's your interpretation, or like, what's your?
What do you think? How to
It's,
live and work in the zone means?
So when you find yourself in the flow of life and everything's working, timing, how you feel, everything's connecting, and it's you're in the zone because it's like a sweet spot, and all the elements that need to be in place for what you want to create or what you're in the process of working out, it's happening almost for you. It's like the wind behind your sails.
Yes. Have you guys had that experience before?
Working on it.
Working on it? It happens. He's right, that's the zone. It's the kind of activity that we lose track of time. And we all have that, you know. There are kind of activities that time's lower. That's the opposite of the zone. But the other ones that you can't believe, it was 3 hours, it was 4 hours, I was on this class. You are in the zone, and as you said, you know, you have the wind behind your sail. And yes, this is how we go to the next one. So yeah, where everything you do happens almost effortlessly. So there are things that they contribute to this state of flow, or being in the zone, or working in it. And by going around those things, we can create more of that for ourselves in our day-to-day life, in work, at home, or whatever situation. Michelle mentioned delegation and how to choose what to delegate. That's one of them, because I don't want to spend my time on the things that I don't enjoy doing, I'm not even good at. What's the point? Like taxes. There are people who are good at that and they enjoy it. They're called accountants. Delegate, outsource. And outsourcing and delegation is something that I like to do a little bit more every day. And we all outsource a lot more than we think we do. I didn't build this TV. Somebody else did. I didn't build my car, or my clothes, my house. We just pay for it and we start using it. All of that is outsourcing. Same thing as using a banker, using an accountant, using a manager, using meal prep. So we are outsourcing all the time anyway. We can't do everything by ourselves. Yet when it comes to entrepreneurship and our business, there's this idea of, I have to do everything myself. It's my business, nobody can do it better than me. And we have this imaginary line that we think everything over there, we outsource, but on this side, I have to do it myself. And that line is imaginary anyway. So let's move it to ourselves closer and closer every day, so we end up doing only the things that we are the best at, and we enjoy doing. The rest of it, let somebody else do it. Which was, by the way, Homer Simpson's motto in Becoming the Mayor. Let somebody else do it. I love it. Okay, so the state of flow, things like automation, delegation, and going after joy are the things that they contribute to that. And distraction caused by technology, for example, is something that takes you out of your zone. And SOS, the shiny object syndrome. Ooh, this, ooh, another program, another book, another idea, another email, another post. All of those shiny objects are there, and there are things that they're designed. It takes about 14 to 15 minutes for us to get to the zone. So we start our work, and at the beginning it's a bit slower, then we get to the mood and we have a rhythm going, maybe the music helps and all that. It takes about 15 minutes to get to the zone. Yet, we are distracted every 5 or 6 minutes by a ping of an email or a SMS or somebody comes at the door. So it's like we never get to the zone. Before we have a chance to get to our flow state, we are distracted. To give you an example, we all know how good a deep breath is. That's a good one. But imagine breathing like this the whole day. Just superficial and shallow. That's what's happening up here. With all of these distractions before we even get a chance to be able to focus on something. We're always told to focus on this, focus on that. First of all, we're never told how, and we don't get a chance either, because we're always distracted. Today I got a good 2 hours of work done, because everything else was turned off and face down. I missed the meeting, but I got shit done. So, and by the way, anytime you have any question, just let me know. You don't have to keep them till the end. There are 5 sticking points that, among many, the 5 most common ones that get in the way of entrepreneurs in getting to the zone. 1, significant lack of clarity. Lack of clarity about your unique ability. Poor productivity and myth of time management. Lack of confidence that gets you stuck and keeps you stuck. And going it alone in business. Number 1, the lack of clarity. We think we know what we want to do and where we're going, but it changes all the time. Have you ever had a goal and you think, I'm going to get to that goal, and you make some progress towards it, and now it's pushed forward by your mind automatically, and you work in and it's pushed forward, and it becomes chasing the horizon? And no matter how much progress we make, we're always dissatisfied because there is so much left. One trick is always look at how far you have come instead of how much is left. But lack of clarity about where we're going and what needs to be done is one of the most important things. So we can bring clarity to what we do by simple and good questions. One of them is this one. If we meet here again 1 year from now, and you're very happy and satisfied with where you are 1 year from now, what are the changes that they have to happen for you to be very happy and satisfied, both in personal and professional life 1 year from now? Think about those changes. And those are the only things that matter. All the new ideas that are going to come, they are irrelevant, because they have nothing to do with our happiness and satisfaction in the future. So when we answer that question, what are the changes that they have to happen for me to be very happy and satisfied, both in my personal and professional life 1 year from now? Yeah, you can modify that, make it only business life, or make it 3 months from now, or by the end of this meeting. But that is a great tool, a great question for you to find clarity. Lack of clarity about our unique ability. This is what Michelle was talking about knowing what is it that we're good at and what we're not good at, and delegate everything else. In your business, everything that has to happen is that blue circle, all of the tasks. You end up doing some of them, the orange circle. Everything else is going to be done by somebody else, either employees, VAs, or external businesses like accountant. Come on in. Hello. Accountant, or even your internet provider, or other people that you hire or use their services. So think of that proportion. Everything that needs to happen, what you are going to end up doing. And if you think this design is familiar, and you have this somewhere before, it's on purpose. It's the Death Star. And it was a very powerful weapon because they used the power of focus to get stuff done. So think about it like that. So going back to our tasks, the things that you do is one of the 4 categories. You're either good at something or not. The things that I am not good at, I really don't enjoy. I suck at it. There are the tasks that we call them incompetent. There are things that I can get done. I'm not that good at it, but Some results can be created, competent tasks. There are things that you do that other people are amazed. How did you do that so fast, so easy? It just came to you. Some people are just programmed a certain way. You've met people that they're just good with numbers. How the hell do they do that? My brother's like that. I'm not. I can do numbers, but as long as they're on paper or Excel sheet or something. In my head, forget about it. And there are things that I'm not only good at, but I also enjoy doing. So we go from tasks that we're incompetent, like accounting, for me, tax, real estate. She saves me always. She's my realtor right there. When it comes to real estate, please help me. I have no idea what's going on. Competent, like graphic design. Yeah, I can play around with Canva or Photoshop and do something usually nice. But the same thing done by a graphic designer in less amount of time looks much better, and all the proportions are right and everything. So that's an example of a competent task. Excellent are the things that I'm naturally good at, and add joy on top of it. That would be my unique ability. So the idea is to move as much as possible away from incompetent and competent, and end up doing our work in excellent and unique ability. So that, or in circle, which is your tasks among everything else that needs to be done, if you look at that, you want majority of it to be your unique ability task. And you still have to do some stuff or be involved with other things. That should be a small part of it. The things that they are not your unique ability, the things that they are not your excellent. Any questions so far? Cool? Time management. It's a myth. We cannot manage time. You cannot make it go faster, or slower, or get some more of it, or save some of it for later. Yet we think we have to work on this thing called time management. And at the end of the day, time doesn't matter anyway. If you hire me to do something for you, all you want is the results. You really don't care if I spend 2 hours on it or 2 days. The result is what matters. And we create result in what we do, whatever we do, when we are engaged with our task, when we're in the zone. You realize sometimes you do stuff that takes you half an hour, but the result is something that you couldn't do in 4 hours of distracted kind of work. So the power of full engagement is something that you really want to work on. So instead of trying to manage time, something that doesn't matter, and we cannot control anyway, let's try to work on something that doesn't matter, creates the result, which is our engagement, and we have full control over it. Well, we kind of always ignore that and try to manage time. So think about it from now on as in schedule management. You have heard people say, I'm a morning person, or I'm an afternoon person, or night person. They're talking about their peak time, another name for this prime time. That time of the day that you're the most productive, naturally. That's your rhythm. Most people are somewhere between 9 a.m. to 12, a 2-hour period within that time. There are some people that they work best after midnight. Program is like that. So ask yourself this question. What time of the day am I in my natural productive rhythm? Let's say 10 to 12. And there are ways to find that. Let's say the answer is 10 to 12. So what do you want to get done in that time? Your most important tasks. The things that they bring the most income to you. They generate the highest value for your clients. The highest value, your highest talent, your unique ability needs to be done at that time. That's what I mean by schedule management. So in my calendar right now, from 10 to 12, every day is blocked. Nobody can book anything at that time on my calendar because that's my prime time. And I put my most important tasks in that time. All the other things that they are not my highest value, not my unique ability, are in the other time of the day. And the more you pay attention to this, you find more rhythms for yourself. Because I used to be a programmer, and I noticed in the morning, before lunch, that part of my brain that helps me code from scratch, write code, works well. After lunch, it's like somebody turned the light off. And doesn't matter how hard I push, I don't get much done. In 4 hours, I don't get even half an hour done like in the morning, and I make a lot more mistake. In the afternoon though, my debugging brain kicks in, and I could solve the problems and fix the code, but that couldn't work in the morning, so I just started to write code in the morning and debug in the afternoon. And everything was smooth. Right now, I have 4 zones in my day. From the time that I wake up till 10, I call it input zone. It's where I am best, it is best for me to let things go in. I listen to podcasts, I read, I learn. 10 to 12 is synthesizing zone, or create zone. I create content, I work on the slides, I put things together. Early afternoon is my output zone. That's where I get to, it is my best version to help my clients. So I let them book most of the calls in the early afternoon with me. That's the time of the day that they get best version of me in helping them. I can talk to them in the morning, but my mind is not there. That part of my brain hasn't started yet. And by the end of that, around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, all different parts of my brain are done, basically. So I go to gym. I use my body. So keeping track of how you're working and managing your schedule and putting the right tasks in the right time slots is going to save so much struggle and help you get done so much faster and better through time. So that's what I mean by myth of time management. That's your personal time management. But we also have time and engagement when it comes to projects. So let's say I have 3 projects to work on. Project A, Project B, and Project C. And they all take about the same amount of time to get done. 3 weeks or 3 months, 3 blocks. And our tendency is, well, I have all of these projects. I'm going to make progress in all of them. I'm going to work a little bit on A, a little bit on B, a little bit on C. Everything is going and things are happening. But what we're really doing is we are task switching. So the work that we have done on A, we have to stop it, or we're going to stop it because we're going to focus on B now. So stop that, and while that was already in a good progress mode, we stop it, we go do the other one, and they go back to C, and A, B, C, A, B, C. That's what we usually end up doing, especially if we have somebody else scheduling our time for us, like employees. Or we can, I have one of these. Oh, doesn't work on TV. Came prepared. If I do all of the A's and B's and C's, it's a much better model to work on the projects. It takes about the same amount of time, not really, because every time we switch from A to B, we're losing some time because we're losing our zone and trying to get focused back on this one. So this is actually longer, but let's not worry about task switching. And now let's compare these 2 models together. So each one of the projects, when it's done, it starts generating money for us, like a product that we want to sell, or a program that we want to launch, or something like that. So in this model, A, B, C, no money yet. A, B, C, nothing is complete, no money yet. A, finished, we start to make some money. B, finished, all 3, we make some money. And C, at the end of the 9 months or 9 weeks, C hasn't made any money yet. But in this model, A, I start making money with that. And B, I start making money with that. CCC, the money goes there. So it's same amount of time, different order. You end up with 3 money. Over here you end up with 9 money. I like 9 money more. That's how I talk to myself. So let's forget about I'm a multitasker, I can do this. I can focus on 2 things at a time. We cannot. That's not how our brain are wired. We do task switching. We lose a lot of energy and momentum. And at the end of the day, it's not beneficial either. So I have a medic person that he was in one of the events like this. I explained this, met him a few months later, and I didn't know that he was in the audience. He said, "You said one thing, I implemented, we started to make money right away." Yeah, good. Good for you. Yes. That's the kind of guy I am. But what did you do? He said, "Well, we just implemented that. Instead of going from project to project, we put everything else on hold. We picked the first one. We finished that. We started the next one. We finished that. Started, and the income of the company started to go up. So individually or company-wise, that's the power of focus. Yes.
How would you implement something like this if you do something where projects need to have things sort of completed concurrently? Like, I'm an interior designer, so if I have 2 or 3 clients and they have decisions that need to be made for their contractor within a similar time range, can I do the A, B, C within a week or 2 weeks? Like, are you saying if I focus on client Joe Smith
Yes.
all of Monday
Yes.
and get everything done, then can I switch to Jane Doe for Tuesday? Like, does that
That's
still
one way,
work? Okay.
because you stay on that project, and everything else around that project is
Until
on the
that
top of your
part
mind,
is finished.
right? You don't
Yeah.
have to remember everything else about
Right.
the other projects.
Okay.
That's one way. Another way of putting similar things together is do the same kind of task for different projects at the same day. But because they have different start dates and finish dates and different stages, that's sometimes maybe impractical.
Yeah.
So there are many different aspects that you can batch together. How you batch it is your choice, which is one makes more sense for your business and practical. But the idea of batching things together is the general idea.
Okay, thank you.
So time management or task management, all of that. This whole batching things for day-to-day life too. For example, I pay my bills once a week, all together at the same time. I'll batch together.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Quick question, what
Yes.
about if things require an incubation time?
Incubation time?
Yeah, like you can't do it and continue to do it. You have to do it, and then it's like a plant that grows. You can't
Yes.
pick the fruit until it gets to a certain level.
Yeah.
So-
Incubation is doing. It's part of the process. It's like a plant. So you also give that the A part of it. We think only the doing part is doing, but there are things that they need incubation. Let's bring into the picture. It's that imaginary line that we consider things doing or finished, or the preparation. It's not doing, it's preparation, or it's incubation. It's not. By changing your perspective and giving them the time that they need, they find their time. They find their time slot in your schedule. So if incubation is needed, yeah, let's give it the time. At the same time, we work on something else. Maybe it's not business, maybe it's personal or something else. Okay. Lack of confidence. This is a big one. And another name for it is the imposter syndrome. Entrepreneurs think, who do you think you are? That voice in their head that you stand in front of people and start talking some stuff. What the hell do you think you are? Why people should listen to you, or why should you launch this project, or all of that. Yet let's do it anyway, and we do that with confidence. But confidence does not have a switch to turn on, or I can go to the store and buy it. But very much like the process of the dopamine, actually, probably the same process is the process of creating the elements that lead to confidence for you to get what you need done. This is why we need confidence, because says simplicity brings clarity. Clarity creates confidence, which leads to action and creates the results. To get to the results, we have to start with simplifying things, to clarify, to get confidence. Now we can take action by asking those questions and create the results. And doing that over and over is what you need the most. The momentum that's being generated through this process of making progress. This is a simplified version of that for you. This is what happens to you. Simplify so you can focus and you end up in flow. So one of the main characteristics of a flow state is focus on one thing. It's very simple. You can really describe it to somebody else. So do that intentionally. Become simplifiers. Simplify, then to focus and flow, and that's what happens to you. But when you do that, this is what happens to your business. First you make it work. Then we make it work better. Then we make it work faster. If we don't, it's that ABC or distraction. We want to find faster ways of doing the wrong thing, and we end up doing that wrong thing more and more because we are not really focused on doing the right thing, which came through that simplicity and clarity. Make sense? Now, trying to do it all by ourselves, also known as the lone wolf syndrome. There are, 12, 14 different things that they need to happen in a business. Marketing and accounting and planning and doing the technical work and this and that. And how many of them are strength, are talent? 1. Maybe 2. But what about the other 10 or 12 things? No, I have to do it myself. It's my own business. And the lone wolf, and yeah, I survived. And we hear all of these stories that the guys in overnight success and they did all this and that. Maybe it's right for them, not for us. So I am a firm believer of this concept of I don't care who you are, everybody needs a coach. At least one. I myself have 2 right now, actually. 2 coaches, 1 mastermind, 1 accountability partner. Look at high-performing people, like a professional tennis player or professional golfer or president. They have a team of experts supporting them. They're all other coaches. Somebody is the massage therapist or the putting coach or behavioral coach or what to dress and what to say and how to do it and all of that. The higher the performance level, more help and more coaches you need around you. If you're trying to do everything by yourself, well, you're only good at 1 or 2 of them. So if you don't have a coach, get one today. Mastermind, get in one. Call a person, call a friend, get an accountability buddy. I don't care who you are. Everybody needs a coach. You want to say something?
No. Say no. It's fine.
This one's
Say something I've heard.
Yeah. So, these are the 5 things again. The clarity, knowing what your highest talent and unique ability is. Forget about time management, manage your engagement with your task. Work on your confidence with simplifying and clarifying everything that you need to do and committing to those, and everything else is irrelevant. And never do it alone. Coach, accountability partner, mastermind. The more the better. That's investment on yourself. Working in the zone is that total clarity on what I'm doing right now on this task and where I'm going, and at the end of it, you kind of don't realize, did I just do all of that? And did I create this? Where did this come from? I'm a genius. Now I want to tell you about myself and how I help my clients with all of this. Let me tell you about a concept. Every business, every service has a product and a commodity that they sell. People pay for it. People usually pay for the commodity, but what they're really paying for is the product. The commodity of a perfume is that bottle with some liquid in it in a cardboard box. The most expensive part is the box, about $3. How much do we pay for perfume? 100 and something. What is it that we're really paying for? For the product. What is the product? For perfume, it's lifestyle. Look at the ads. The good-looking person, getting in a jet airplane. I want that. Starbucks. We pay for coffee, the commodity. What is it that we're really buying?
Brand.
Which is about the product. What is it that we're really paying for? What do you use your Starbucks for besides coffee?
The pleasure of how you feel when you're drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
The trendiness of Starbucks.
Yeah, lifestyle. And a meeting place.
The location.
It was created around this idea called the third place. First place and second place being your home and work. But everybody needs a third place, that they don't have to deal with the shit at home or shit at work. They can just be by themselves. You know, you see old people go and feed the pigeons. That's their third place. That's why Starbucks is always at the corner. Doesn't matter if you're going to work or coming back, it's on your way. Look at the chairs, look at the colors, listen to the music. Everything is designed for you to come, sit there, relax. This is your third place. Be by yourself or meet a friend. Now think about it. If you know what your product is, you can make decisions, important decisions about your business. One day, I'm assuming, they were thinking about, are we going to give free internet to our clients or customers or not? It's a matter of millions of dollars. Because they knew what their product is, which is the place. Yes, we're going to give them internet, and it's going to be free. And it's going to be fast too. We want them to come and sit and enjoy the place. On the other hand, you have businesses that they want you to get your coffee and get out. Right? They don't have internet, or it's slow, or it's hard, or 5 minutes only, like Tim Hortons. Their product is something else. So what is your commodity? But what is your product is the question. So I asked myself that question. My commodity is coaching. But what I really do is I help entrepreneurs get out of their own way. Make sense? Mm-hmm. That's the part that everybody needs a coach. And sometimes my clients tell me, they tell me, we hear you in your head, because we usually do it over the phone. They say, you know, you have the angel and the devil on your shoulder, and they're all of the voices and talking, and they say after a few months of coaching, we have a new voice in there, and that's your voice talking to us. Oh, Kayvon's telling me doing this. So I make this joke. Every time you're stuck, ask yourself this good question. What would Kayvon say? and I said that as a joke, but somebody actually, you know, tried it. It works. Really good. So my highest talent is I'm a simplifier. That's how my brain is wired. I mentioned some people are good with numbers, some people are good whatever. That's how my brain works. Complicated things, I find a way to simplify them. I'm fascinated. I never get tired of learning and teaching. So I end up getting information and concepts from so many different sources and put them together, and something really simple comes out of them. For example, one of the things that we have to deal with every day is this desire of need for perfection. We all have that. That's part of human being. If you have a pulse, you're fascinated by perfection. And this monster is always in there. I want to make everything perfect. And it gets on the way. So here's one simple thing you can do to manage that. Every day, do at least one thing perfect. It could be tying your shoelaces. Just, it's 5 seconds longer. What I do when I go to Starbucks, I align the star on the sleeve and cup and drinking hole in one line. Perfect. What really happens is that dragon that needs perfection, you feed it a little bit, and it gets that and goes to the corner, start eating it, and leaves you alone. So you can get on with the rest of the day. And this need for perfection is out of the way for that day until you feed it again tomorrow. And the rest of the day you can do your stuff. Now this came to me from so many different sources, but that's a good example of a simplifying things through a cutting edge strategy. Something that usually is not part of the equation. So that's how I am fortunate and able to help my clients. Approach. I call it M&M. No, not this one. No, not this one either. That's what I mean. Mindset and momentum. Mental blocks, you did a much better job than I could in explaining how that works. And changing all of that to productivity habits. That whole, I'm going to put my most important task from 9 to 10, or whatever, is a productivity habit. After a while, you get into that groove. The difference between having a habit or not is the energy that you have to spend or not. If you're trying to use your willpower to get something done, it's not a habit. But when it becomes a habit, the task pulls you. You want now to go and do it. If you don't do it, you're nervous. So it takes that 21 to 40 days to get to that. But after that, you can become more productive by implementing these habits one after another. There are 3 types of coaching that I do. I call them momentum, stride, and prolific. Entrepreneurial coaching, mindset, growth mindset, setting your goals and roadmaps. We start with that question of 1 year from now. Then it's about getting those things done, which is commitment coaching. Another name for it is accountability coaching. And productivity coaching. We first make it work, then we make it work better, then we make it work faster. We focus, we simplify, focus to flow. It's all coming together. So you remember that circle of momentum? This is how my 3 different ways of coaching my clients are related to each other. This is what allows me to do the work that I do. These are all the people and sources that I have the fortune of. Let me focus on this one. So in the past, let's say 2003 till now, I have been fascinated by this idea of entrepreneurship. So people like the whole lean startup ideas and business models, marketing and online marketing like Rick Jeffrin and Dan Kennedy, Joe Polish, and my current coaches, Dan Sullivan and Ari Meisel, business coach, entrepreneurial coach, and I have been very fortunate to have Michael Gerber, the #1 small business guru in the world, according to Inc. magazine, as my mentor for a good 7 or 8 years. So I have made myself their student, their client, their VIP client. I purchased their material. Also, so many books either purchased or given from library and all of that. So if I want to put a dollar value on all of that, it's over $300,000 in the past 10 years. I didn't spend that much. As I said, lots of it was free books from library. I actually spent about $115,000. All of that complexity taken away in a simplified way is what allows me to help my clients with their growth of their business. One of the best advices that I ever got was from Michael in one of our phone calls. He said, entrepreneurship is not about waiting to see what happens. It's about making what you see happen. And there is such clarity and confidence in that sentence. Ari has been kind enough. He has written 3 books so far to give me his endorsement. Actually, I am one of his first certified productivity coaches in the past 3 years, and they just upped that level of certification. So from the people who have been trained, only 2 people passed that. I'm one of them. I'm also head coach for his company, Leverage, training other coaches to become productivity coaches. So from the day that I became his client first in his mastermind, then worked with him and become a coach, so many things are happening much better. And Leverage is now one of the best VA companies out there. I use them, and I coach my clients how to use VAs better. So, a daily question to ask yourself. Where's the focus? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. Where's my focus today? And where do you want it to be? That's a better question. If I am sitting here 1 year from now, and I'm happy with all the changes that they happened, what are those changes that they have to happen for me to be happy and satisfied 1 year from now? I developed this process called the Focus Builder. First, simplify. Second, simplify. Third, simplify. The category, subcategory, and the single action that you need to do. Then decide that I'm going to do it. Nothing else matters. I'm kind of going to do it? No. There is no gray zone. You either don't do it or don't, like Yoda said. And you commit to it with your daily actions. You reinforce it by sharing it with other people and telling everybody else that I'm going to do this. When you share it with other people, it's going to happen. Or your accountability buddy, or your mastermind, or your coach. And you recharge by focusing on progress, not perfection. Remember that horizon, chasing horizon? You always focus on how far you have come, as opposed to how much is left. Focus on progress, not perfection. This is a good question. Are you going to let another month go by without getting the right things done? This is a question that my friend, his name is Chip, and I asked ourselves. We connected because being entrepreneurs, even though with coaches and accountability partners, at the end of the day, it's still hard because we're not really, we don't have a boss. No, we are not accountable to anyone. There are processes, there are websites, there are journals and all of that. So we wanted to find a solution to that. And he had an idea, and we brainstormed that, and I put a few things on top of that, and we tested that on ourselves first. And the system works. Then we tested on a group of 14 people or so, and they got results. And then we turned it into a business. It's called theaccountable.me. And that's the AAA project that I'm working on. So it's daily professional accountability. Every day, at the same time, one of our callers, we call them commitment keepers, will call you. You're talking to a real human being. And they ask you, so you want to get these things done yesterday? How did number 1 go? What did you do about number 2, number 3, and number 4? And we record that. They're either completed, incomplete, or unbegun. So you report back. What are the things that you want to get done tomorrow? These 4 items. And we ask for 4 items. 2 big ones and 2 small ones. Big ones, they take about an hour to get done. Small ones, less than half an hour. So this way you are guaranteeing about 3 hours of productivity and focus for yourself in your prime time. So every day, daily professional accountability, somebody will call you every day. Give it a try. 1 complimentary week of trying this is on us. All you need to do is sign up. We will assign a commitment keeper to you. Try it for 1 week. If it works for you, you get value out of it, then sign up. Talk to me, or want to discuss things, or want to know more. It's easy. Go to talktokayvon.com. Productivity. As opposed to this Calendly link and talktokayvon.com. easy to remember, and it directly allows you to book a time on my calendar in the time zone that I allow it. And we get on a phone and we get things done. That's everything that I want to share with you. Thank you so much for giving me this time and attention.